sweet, aren't they? Feels so damn good. I mean, we don't get these that often, man. We've had a lot of stumbles out the gate to seasons, right? The Clemson home and home didn't go well. You won one of the Miami ones, but you lost to App State that year. Notre Dame last year. When's the last time A&M started with a clean slate? When's the last time you had this much confidence going into the start of a year? You forget it so early. That game felt like a playoff game. That game felt like it had real stakes, because it did, especially for Notre Dame. It was a real atmosphere. It was deep season chippiness. It was a real fist fight. And we don't come on top of those every time. I don't tell you that, especially on the road. You break a streak. And I see y'all saying you've watched the highlights 53 times. I think I'm getting close to 60 now. Can't stop thinking about this game. I'm waking up with like a little bit of pep in my step. I'm going to work and I'm more productive than ever. Everything's better. Everything's great. Beware the rat poison. Not us. We're fans. We're fat and happy. We get to sit back and just watch this thing unfold. But I want to project this team going forward now because you have a great start. You have really good vibes right now. You're in a bye week. As we speak, we're resting, we're relaxing, and that's cool. But the follow-up is everything. Because in this case, the follow-up is your entire SEC slate. We haven't played a damn SEC football game yet. There's a world where A&M goes out there and wins them all. There's a world where A&M goes out there and has their classic 4-4 if they don't commit to the process of improvement. That's the task now. I see David in the chat talking about now we have to break another trend, getting over the sucking after a bye week trend. They're allowed to revel in this because right now they're like us. They're sitting back, they're recovering, they're enjoying the win. It's early in the bye week. It's only Tuesday, a couple of days removed, but it's good for them. They need this. This is like the perfect bye week scenario because you won the game. You had your fall camp. You had the grind, the grit and grind of a fall camp. It's brutal, man. If you've gone through one, you know, even in high school, how those just wear on you. And you finally get to play a football game, and they had a couple of dress rehearsals. Then they play this intense, emotional, and very physical football game, and now you get to reset. Now you get to improve and kind of sharpen that axe that you've been grinding. But what they do after this reset is going to be what defines the season. And there's a lot of rat poison out there. Let me share. A lot of A&M players won awards this week. Earl Campbell, Tyler Rose Award, Marcel Reed, Mario Craver, Le'Veon Moss. Mario's the player of the week. A couple of honorable mentions in the maroon and white. You have your AP player of the week, Mario Craver, Heisman candidate, more rat poison. Mario Craver, well-deserved, well-earned, dominant performance on the road. What a coming out party for Mario. Manning Award, Star of the Week, Davey O'Brien's Great Eight, Marcel Reed, another award, another accolade. And then, of course, the SEC Defensive Line Player of the Week, Albert Regis, man, what an unsung hero for this team. What an underrated, undervalued stud. Winning so often. You know, you're looking at losing Shamar, Nick Scorton. And now we're in the Albert Regis, DJ Hicks meta, and it's so much fun, man. And watching DJ Hicks has been such a blast because we've seen the ramp up. We've wondered when it would happen. He's been behind some studs, and now we're seeing it, man, in a big, big way. But of course, Albert Regis is the leader. He's the go-to guy. He's the snap leader of this, defensive front, and he's playing extremely well. But then you can go look nationally. I mean, just straight up polls. You're a top 10 team now, well-deserved, well-earned. I mean, individual creators, J.D. Pickell has you at rank 9. I think this is Ari Wasserman, has you at rank 9. And then Bud Elliott putting out his playoff projections, has A&M in the playoff now. Bud Elliott was not particularly high on A&M going into the year, not particularly high on Marcel Reed. Look at him now. Look at us now. Where's Texas? I don't know. You have Heisman talk, and we talked about this. After this game at this national spotlight, no matter how it went down, pretty much, Marcel Reed was going to come out the other side with some conversation. It's just the way it goes when you're a quarterback and you win a big game at this stage early in the year. Because this is your sample size at this point. And of course, This is JD Piquel's Heisman list, part of On3 Sports, Marcel Reed. Robert Griffin III has Marcel Reed as the front runner. Piquel also has Craver at 6. Robert Griffin has Craver at 6, Reed at 1. The On3 company poll for Heisman, Marcel Reed at 4. I mean, A&M's in the spotlight right now, guys. Heisman odds, bet MGM. Marcel Reed in the top, what is this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, top 5, tied for 5th, however you want to, quantify that. I mean, Carson Beck, John Mateer, Dante Moore, Gunnar Stockton, Garrett Nussmeier, our boy Marcel Reed. And if you're reading these press clippings, oh, and by the way, championship odds, you're in the top 10. They can't be sitting and reading like we are. They got to get there. They got to get the work in, commit to the process of improvement. Because from what we saw this Saturday, their ability to go out and win a close game on the road, that was so important for so many reasons. Because first of all, you have 3 of these giant road games on the year. And 2 other ones that, a few weeks ago, we didn't think so highly of in Arkansas and Missouri. And all of a sudden, those look like very valid and real threats on the road if you don't mind your P's and Q's. Offenses that can fly around. In Missouri's case, I think a damn good football team. But that leads me to what I want to do tonight. I told you guys before the season, you win versus Notre Dame. I called it a loss preseason. I thought that Notre Dame's offensive line and running attack was going to be too strong where I deemed A&M potentially weak. And that ended up not being the case. A&M bottled up a running game very, very well. I thought the defensive line had a really good football game. Now the defense, linebackers, outside contained, zone coverage, that has to get better. But A&M went out and showed they could do it. So I told you, I'm reevaluating the year. If A&M proves me wrong preseason and goes and beats Notre Dame early in the year and shows us that. And that has happened. So after I say what's up to everybody in the chat tonight, I'm putting pen to paper. I'll show you what I'm working with right here. Let's see if I can pull it up. Boom. I'll center that in a second. Let's see here. There we go. We're going through this in just a minute. Obviously, we got 3 under our belts already. But I'm reevaluating, man. Clean slate. We're going to pick them all. I had A&M 9-3. My original projection was loss to Notre Dame. A surprising loss against Florida at home because I think they're talented. I think they can catch anybody on any given weekend. They are not doing so well. And then I had a loss versus Texas. I had us beating LSU. So we'll see, man. I've been going back and forth on this all day, a thought exercise through the work day, through working out, through my evening walk. I've been thinking about how I'm going to go with this. We'll see what I do. This is going to be a game time decision. But now it's time to say what's up to everybody and ask my question of the day. The question today is, what is your new record prediction? Is this in line with what you were thinking? Were you all aboard A&M beating Notre Dame early and this doesn't really change anything? Or was what you saw enough to change this? Are you changing the win-loss projection? I'm curious. I mean, let me know what your prediction is and let me know if it changed. I'm very curious to hear that, and I'll read them off in the chat. But, of course, if you want to call it in, the call-in link is already pinned in the chat. So at the top, you just click that link. Cell phone, computer, tablet, smart refrigerator, whatever device you're using, you just click that, and it's really easy to use. So if you want to call in, do that. And give me some takeaways from the game, how you're feeling a few days later. We'll spend a couple minutes on each call beyond just giving the win-loss record, guys. I want to hear from you. So make sure you click that. Try to tap in if you want to call in. But in the meantime, let's say what's up to everybody in the chat. I see a lot of faces here tonight, man. Aggieland's buzzing, man. I love to see the amount of people we have in here on a Tuesday night. No Thursday show this week. This will take the place of the Thursday show. It's my birthday Thursday, so I'll be out celebrating, and I'm busy this weekend. Birthday celebration in College Station. If you're in College Station, I'm going to announce where I go and watch Auburn OU on Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter, X. I'm going to announce where I'm watching that game, and I hope you guys come hang out with me. We're going to find a sports bar to go chill at. And if you want to come say what's up, come say what's up. Noble Guy, good to see you. Jeb, good to see you. Our offense can still get better all around, man. There's so much room for improvement right now. And that's great, and it's also scary because you're clearly not a finished product. Anybody can get you. There's a lot of dangerous teams on this schedule. But if they do commit to improvement, how good can this team freaking be, man? I think we have pieces on defense. I think this defense can be a totally different unit within a couple of weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks. Who knows how they look coming out of this bye week? I mean, offensively, you get the running game more established. You get that deep ball going. Be dropping 50 plus on Notre Dame if you had that deep ball going. I mean, come on now. It's only week 3. We have a long way to go, and we can get so much better. Do we know if Scooby's going to be back for Auburn, says Lit Sparks? I don't know. We don't get a Elko presser on bye week, so we'll find out Monday, I guess. We're not going to hear anything. They're going to keep that closed lip. My gut feeling, no information. No information here. My gut feeling seeing Scooby and the way he reacted and the way he was able to move around after the injury is some kind of adductor groin pull, just based on how he reacted and where he was holding on to as he entered the tent. I don't know. That would probably be a good outcome because who knows what happened to Scooby. He wasn't able to return. Very important player, but shout out to Damian Sanford for filling in very, very nicely. We won't see a lot of running backs like that the rest of the season. Early note on Auburn, Randy, thanks for chiming in. Auburn's going to bring a unique running attack, and that's a go-to, very intentional quarterback running attack. Zone read, a lot of that kind of stuff, option stuff. That'll be a new challenge for this defense. I'm very curious to see how they handle that coming out of the bye week. Glad we get a bye week before this attack because not many teams in the SEC are running the quarterback like they do. Will needs to step it up. I trust that he will. Wide receivers might be an issue. Oh, for Auburn? Yeah, they're going to be tough, man. They're going to be tough for sure. Archie looks like they have the best offense out of our next 4 opponents. Potentially, man. Potentially. AggieLand79, I'm selfish. I want a Wrecking Crew D. You might get that, man. I think there are pieces out there. So maybe about just the zone defense coming together, safeties figuring out their coverage. I think we can run support from the defensive back position a lot better. I think the best run supporter from DB right now by far is Marcus Ratcliffe, but I think everybody else could do a tick better. You know, Des Ricks had a really good run stuff on an outside run to Jeremiah Love early in that game, but, you know, you got to have the discipline to not push him out of bounds, even if it's a light push. You know, against a star player, he trips, he acts, whatever happens, you're going to get flagged. We got to be better. We got to be better at supporting that run. Don't know what it means. You like that song, Jago? Good, thanks for being here. Still feeling 9-3, maybe 10-2. Okay, so we're teetering right now. We're teetering. Eric Hemphill, our offense can get significantly better, as can the defense as long as Reed stays healthy. I think the offense will be top 10. Very true, very true. Trey Felder, good to see you, my man. Happy to see you in here. It was a playoff game for Notre Dame. Absolutely, it was, man. Raymond, good to see you, man. BTTS, I think we'd beat Missouri. If Oklahoma beats Auburn decisively, I think we'll be 7-0 going into LSU. A lot to learn in that game this week, and that's why I'm very excited to watch the Oklahoma-Auburn game. Big test for Auburn going up against such a formidable defense. I don't think the Baylor defense had an answer at all for Auburn's running attack. Oklahoma has a very real defense, so we'll see what happens this weekend. Very, very intriguing game for us to watch. Aggie work productivity all the way up, Trey, all the way up. I'm skipping down the hall at work. LSU looks amazing this year. Oh, they look better than I thought in some areas, but a little questionable in others. I don't know if I'm changing that pick. Preseason, I had A&M beating LSU in Baton Rouge this year, and we'll see what I do there. Aggies by 90 against Auburn. We could drop 50, man. Let's drop 50. Come on now. You said you would oil up if they won. I was super oily after that game. I was oiling myself through sweat. I was sweating through that game. Mission accomplished. Your boy was oiled. Self-oiled. Thank you for remembering, Mike. Thanks for calling me out, man. Trey says, Elko talks about taking the next step. Getting a breakthrough dub is part of that next step. Now it's about resetting and going back to the business of improving. 100%, Trey. Drew looking mighty cute today. AT, I bet you're looking cute with the freaking wave hair. I bet the hair's flowing today. AT, thanks for being in here, my man. Aggies today. Aggie celeb in here. Shout out AT. I was already thinking about how this team will be brought down to earth after a W because I was confident we would beat Notre Dame. What an amazing thing to watch. A really cool thing for a coach. You played it real sloppy. 13 penalties. A kickoff return called back because of a penalty. A bunch of false starts. In a win. So Elko can go and be this grumpy, pissed off, just freaking shredder. Just a mean-ass coach all week. And the team knows they're good. The team knows they won, but he can grind them. He can chew on them, man. And that's very, very exciting for these couple of weeks of practice. Thanks for being here, Tyler. I'll pop in and out. Good to see you, BTTS. Go have some dinner, man. Go eat it. All right, let's get a couple of those predictions, then we'll go to my next segment, which is reestablishing my win-loss projection. Colin says 10-2. Any other predictions in here? 10-2 if we stay healthy. Health is paramount, of course. 10-2 remains my pick. I think we still lose a couple. Very fair. They may go 9-3 if they lose to someone like State or Arkansas. Both teams looking a lot more lethal. 80 viewers is wild. Good stuff, brother. Yeah, thank everybody for being here. Drop a like, drop a sub. I appreciate all y'all for being here, man. Aggieland is buzzing. 11-1, changing from 10-2. I don't know where I'm going to go just now, but I would say 11-1 is much more likely now than it was 4 days ago. 9-3 because of ABS. Everyone calls it ABS. 10-2 says Troy. Call in, AT. Do it. Do it. Trey Finch, 11-1. I know you want to, AT. 9-3 still doesn't change. Fair. 10-2 says Zaddy Zach. 10-2 says King Domino. Potentially 9-3, he says later. Young Alpha Cobra, 10-2. Eric Hemphill, 9-3. AT's at 10-2. Propaganda all the way home. Hey, we're allowed to talk. We're just fans. We're not the team, so team can't think like we are, but we can think the way we are. 9-2. We're skipping a game. We're just not going to play all 12. I love it. All right, guys. My turn. It's my turn. I'm repicking my team. I'm repicking my picks. All right, man. I've been looking forward to this all day. Do we get to change it? Do the things change? Originally, as I said, Florida was a loss, LSU was a win, and Texas was a loss. Let's go through it. We're going to win the bye week. Auburn. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to pick this game because I'm about to pick it on a show in about 5 days or so. So I'm just going to placehold my original pick here. We're going to call it a W. Had it as a W going in. I'm going to leave it as a W for now. But I'm going to evaluate Auburn very carefully over the weekend. I'm going to get back to you guys. This is one that I'm going to kind of play. It's kind of a cop out. I'm not going to pick it directly because I'm about to actually pick it all in a second. Mississippi State's very interesting now, man. This offense looks real. I mean, they went on. They beat a top 15 team in Arizona State a couple of weeks ago. This looks like a real team, man. I am actually very glad that they decided to move the blackout to Mississippi State because you have another hype piece coming to Kyle Field. Mississippi State maybe doesn't bring the hype, but now, I mean, imagine the atmosphere at Auburn. I'll be at the game after that win versus Notre Dame. I imagine Kyle Field will be electric and help carry this team past Mississippi State. I'm still calling this a W. Oh, man, Florida, Lagway, 5 interceptions, Sunbelt Billy. It's looking really rough. It's looking really, really rough over there, man. They have all the talent. The defense looks real. They have all the pieces, but I think we just went up against a real defense on the road and put up 41 freaking points in a game winner. So at home against Florida, as long as we mind our P's and Q's and don't slip, I'm changing this prediction. This is a W. This is one of the ones I'm changing, man. I've seen enough from Florida. I've seen enough from A&M. As of now, I'm picking A&M to win this game. Now, Florida is going to be greatly tested these next 3 weeks, and we're going to learn a lot more about Florida. They're either going to come out the other side of this stretch versus Miami and LSU and Texas against A&M, a new team for better or for worse. They're either going to come out battered and bruised and worse than they are now, or they're going to chip away and improve. But as it stands right now, I have us beating Florida. So I'm changing the pick. That's a change. I'm going to say change, just so we know. Arkansas looks real tough as well. Taylon Green's playing like literally at a Heisman level right now. They just lost a big game. If he wins that, it's a whole different conversation. And they were 6 points away from winning that game. And it's on the road. Very weird place to play before the LSU game. Obviously, almost a rivalry versus LSU at this point. Pretty much is. At least in terms of how the intensity on the field goes when those two teams meet. And then you have to go to Fayetteville the week before. Another game that I'll be at. I'll tell you exactly how the Piggies go. I'm interested. I'm interested in the Pigs. Man, that's a tough game. I think the defense has enough to where A&M is just gonna, throw a track meet out there offensively and just score all over the place. I'm calling it a W. I'm not changing this one. But it's definitely a losable game, more losable than we thought going into the season. And I was nervous about it because of the spot between Florida and LSU. So very tricky. Arkansas is trickier than before, and this W is probably a little bit less confident than it was going into the season for me, but I'm still calling it a W. All right, LSU is real interesting. We just talked about it in the chat. So going into the year before they played Clemson, hearing the reports they had come out of fall camp, the O-line looks shaky. Nussmeier's kind of banged up. Not sure what to make of this defense just yet. Defenses looked really, really, really good for LSU. Blake Baker has those boys rolling. Weeks, all the Weeks brothers are rolling. Harold Perkins is back. Pyburn and the other defensive ends they've added in the portal, the DBs, they all look very real, and they have gelled quickly. Now, they're going to be tested a few more times, several more times, as will A&M before this game. The offense looks very shaky for LSU. It's a very surprising situation. The defense is like looking like top 10 in the country right now. It looks ridiculously good. But the offense is just, it has no rhythm. It has no flow right now. And we thought with Nussmeier and all these weapons they had, the offensive line had a semblance of a pulse. This would be a really good team, but it's weird. I'm looking at LSU actually very similarly that I'm looking at A&M. I said if they beat Clemson, they changed from like a 9-3 team in my mind to a true playoff contender, and I'm sticking with that. This is a better team than I expected because of that defensive surge. And while the defense is really strong, the offense is down right now. I look at their offense the way I look at A&M's defense. It's bad now, but I think it's going to be fine in just a couple of weeks. I don't think this LSU offense is staying down, man. I think this is going to be a real top 5 caliber team we're going to go on the road to. It's a Baton Rouge location A&M hasn't won at in the SEC. And I'm unfortunately going to change this one to a loss, guys. I'm changing it to a loss. I think they're going to be one of the best teams in the country by the time we play them. I see the pieces there, and the offense is coming. It's just like A&M. The defense will come along for A&M. I don't know if it's going to be top 10 defense. I think it'll be a top 30 defense. A&M's will be. Eventually, at some point this year, it's going to look a lot different. LSU's a real challenge, man. And, of course, it's a game we can win with the way A&M's looking right now. We'll reevaluate when the time comes, but I'm changing that one to a loss. So 2 changes, man. Florida's a W, LSU's a loss. Missouri's another team that looks really scary, man. And we're coming off of a bye. Hopefully no bye week letdown versus Missouri or versus Auburn. I don't know, man. Let's call this one a W real quick. South Carolina, we're beaten. We're beating South Carolina. They don't look the same. Lenore Sellers is banged up. This defense doesn't look the same after losing some secondary pieces and D tackles. They don't have the weapons on offense they had last year with Rocket Sanders and the big tight end. I think we're beating South Carolina at home at noon. This is a W. I'm calling Mizzou a loss. I think we slip up in one. It's either Missouri or Arkansas. I'm sorry, guys. It's either Missouri or Arkansas. We're not going undefeated, guys. I don't think we are. I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. Hate me. Unsubscribe. Dislike the video. We're going on a losing streak. We're going on a losing streak. That's a month away from Kyle Field, man. There's a bye week in there. So sorry. Missouri looks really freaking good. Offense and defense. Their biggest wins versus Kansas. They're going to be tested more as the weeks go on. We'll see what happens. Pribula and this offense look extremely, extremely good. And talk about A&M's revenge factor this year. The Notre Dame game, that was chippy, electric, personal. Auburn's going to be the same way. That's going to go for LSU and Missouri, and I think Drink is an intangibles guy. As nerdy and as quotable as he is, I think Drink can get this team really motivated to beat A&M at home, especially after the shellacking and the destruction we put on them last year. Nervous about this Missouri game, nervous about this Arkansas game. You can take your pick between the two. I'm calling this one our slip-up loss, but I'm saying we win these two. Oh, my goodness, Arch Manning, you look so bad. What's going on, my man? What's going on, my Manning? Is it fixable? Is it just the yips? Is it just like a shooter in a cold streak? That's what we're calling it? Is Sark going to redefine the offense, make it more of a quarterback and running back running attack, a zone read attack? Are they going to get the tight ends involved? Do they have real playmakers ready to go at receiver? Can they get Wingo involved? Can they get Livingstone involved? I mean, the defense is legit, but again, I think A&M scores on any defense. It's at Texas. And I am changing this pick to a win. We're going to beat Texas this year, guys. At this point in the year. At this point in the year, I have A&M beating Texas. Wait and see. Get back to me later. I'm making 3 changes. Is that 3 changes? That's 3 changes. Yeah. We're losing to LSU. We're losing to Missouri, but we're beating Texas. That's my pick as of now. A&M goes 10-2 this year. They find themselves in the SEC championship. Most likely, tiebreakers have to happen here. Regardless of that, you're in the college football playoff at 10-2. That's my pick right now, y'all. Let's see what you're saying, then we're going to get right back into the calls. Yes, sir. Buy my Texas ticket right now. We're crapping on Missouri. I hope so. I hope so. Arky wants to beat us every year. This time it's at their place. The blanket incident, the self-established blanket incident, I can see Drink going, hee, I'm going to go put the blanket on his bed, make the note. Oh, it was good. It was good. It was juicy. Don't be sorry, Drew. We slip up. Yeah. They said Missouri was good last year. I call frauds. Well, this year they said they weren't going to be that good. So they're looking pretty good. I trade the LSU loss for a TU win. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. W South Carolina. Yes, yes, yes. If we beat LSU, I think we're almost for sure to go to the playoffs. We go 10-2. Any configuration, 10-2 gets you in. Any configuration. You have enough meat on this bone for sure. We shock everyone to get the W at LSU. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna change these picks every week as we go, as we get more information. This Auburn one's a placeholder. I'm gonna go look at Auburn and tell you how I feel coming out of it. But as of now, this is how it stands. We'll go week by week as the weeks go on. I'm not high on LSU's offense, but they have the pieces, man. They have the quarterback, they have the receivers, they have the running backs, the offensive line. We'll see. It's not a disaster on the offensive line. It's not great. It can go either direction at this point. I look at their offense. I'm telling you, similarly, I look at the defense at A&M. I think the defense will be better. I think their offense will be better. Florida scares me. They kept within 10 points to LSU with 5 interceptions. Florida defense, it's really good. It's a really good defense, for sure, for sure. ESPN showing Vandy with a higher chance to win against LSU. That's crazy. That's crazy. All right, guys. That's my picks. I'm stinking with it. Marcel Bedard had his Heisman moment. Yeah, now I just get to keep getting better and better. Mizzou looked good until they came to Kyle. Yep, but we're going to Columbia this year, so we will see. Won't believe in Missouri until I see them battle. Very fair, very fair, very fair. One step at a time. The team better take it one step at a time. All right, guys, we're going to transition into the call-in portion of the show. Let me get this record saved. All right. Let's see who's waiting to call in. Play to win. You're on with Drew. How are we feeling tonight, my friend?
Drew, babe, what's up?
What up, what up? You feeling good?
Yeah, pretty good, man. I'm feeling pretty confident about the season and, getting that big win. I was watching, you might watch him too, Brooks Austin.
Yeah.
The Film Guy Network. And anyway, I was watching him. I'm learning about our offense, and he called, a lot of the plays that we ran. Like 80%. Yeah, I said, yeah, he could have thrown. He said that Marcel could have thrown for 459 yards.
Yeah.
I said, yeah, it's a possibility.
Yep.
But we're playing Notre Dame too. You got to keep that in mind. So, the success we had and Marcel had and the offense had against Notre Dame was highly remarkable.
It was.
Play for play, score for score. And this is where, Notre Dame screwed up and missed the PAT. Otherwise, we'd have been tying the game and going to overtime.
It would have been crazy.
But we actually, like you said the other night, we won the game twice.
We did.
On the kick return.
Yeah. We had a kick return called back. We had 2 game winners. Well, go ahead late. But, yeah, A&M had the talent to do that.
Yeah, there's a couple other things, too. On the 4th and goal where we scored and Nate caught the ball, and the way he was pushing that guy off, and then shuffling into the end zone to get in position to catch the ball. I noticed on the other side, I don't know if it was our right tackle or right guard, grabbed one of their linemen by the leg and brought him down. He grabbed him by the leg and I'm thinking, man, we could have got called for holding.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I was like, well, he didn't. Whatever referee was at his area didn't, or he was looking at the play and he missed it. I don't know. But I said that it could have gone that way. And another thing, we're on the goal line, and I think the play was designed to run left, and Marcel was looking left, and I think we had a tight end. It took off to the right end zone, wide open. I went, wow, and I'm thinking, well, Marcel never saw him, but I'm thinking the way the play developed, it was supposed to go left.
Yeah.
So I said, I guess that's why he missed him, because he was wide open in the right end zone.
Yeah, there are mistakes every game by players and by referees. Holding is missed on so many plays every game. And we're going to remember that one. They're going to remember that one because that was the game-deciding play. But there's a holding versus Crownover earlier in the game that wasn't a hold. There's plays that could have been hold throughout the game that aren't called holds. This is just how the sport goes, and the one that decides the game is just the one that gets highlighted and remembered. So, yeah, you miss a call, but you miss a million calls a game. There's so many plays you can call to hold in a game. And, thank goodness A&M benefits from one, because how many quarters in a row was it where A&M didn't get a hold called against them or in favor of A&M against opposing offenses last season? I think it was like 30 quarters or something in a row without a hold. About damn time it goes in our favor. About damn time the refs flip in our direction for a play, because we had 13 damn penalties on the night.
Yeah.
So it's nice to win one in that regard. It's nice to get one on our side, and it's great to be the winner because they're gonna bitch and moan because you won the game. You're gonna hear all the complaints because you are the winner and you're the one that pissed people off, and that is a great place to be. Play to win.
Yeah, I know, because we're nobody's favorite. I mean, nationwide, we're not like, hey, yeah, right.
Yep.
And another thing, Gridiron Expert, he picked A&M number 7 in the polls, where the sleeping AP top 25 pollsters, put us at 10. So I like Gridiron Expert's idea, that we should be at 7.
Yeah.
But we still have a lot to go. We have a lot to prove. We got our open schedule, for the weekend, and then we go two more weekends, and we start a homestand of 3 games. And if we win all 3 games, we're 6-0. We're halfway there.
Yes, sir.
If we are that fortunate, but I think we're going to be working on things. Just like Coach Elko said, we're going to be working on some things. There's more work to be done, because I remember when I was in athletics, it was, you couldn't do anything, even though you won the game. It's like, oh, look, man, we got to work on this, that, and the other. There's just a bunch of stuff you got to work on.
Yeah.
You were there.
Yeah.
And I think, we was talking about the wins and losses. I'm still, as for me, I'm picking Arkansas as a trap game because we're going to Fayetteville.
Yeah, that's totally fair, and it looks more valid now because they look pretty good.
Yeah. They were powerful. Their game, I forgot who they played, but they played well Saturday.
Yeah, Ole Miss on the road.
They played Ole Miss very well. So they're showing signs of greatness right now, peaking early. And we got to go play them after 4 games from now.
Yep.
And on the road. And so as far as my losses, I'm seeing LSU in Death Valley, and I'm seeing Texas and Austin. And my trap game is going to be Arkansas. But there was another one. I forget who brought it up, and I agree totally with them. I don't know, was it South Carolina?
Yeah.
Or Mississippi State?
Uh-huh.
One of them, he saw that as a trap game.
It's definitely Mississippi State, I think. They look better than expected, and if A&M's not ready for a fight, they can lose that game. That team can put up points in a hurry, and A&M's defense isn't there yet.
Oh, they love nothing better coming to Kyle Field and just bust us wide open. So
it's happened before. It's happened before.
But and watching Brooks Austin in the film guy, Marcel was excellent in play action. Play action. He was good in play action. So, and good feet work. He's seeing the field.
Yeah.
He's eyeing. He was shown. They were showing the under, the over, defenders, and how he got the ball in. I mean, there were a lot of times, it was pretty close. I mean, and Notre Dame was just out of space, to where we could make a big play.
Yep.
So for the most part, we were great on play action. We were great at creating space. And I think Notre Dame was a little bit flat-foot that way. But, I mean, we're talking about the ones that played for the national championship.
Yeah, there's this narrative that and they're not the same team as last year. That's for sure. But there's this narrative that it's a piss poor defense, terrible secondary. I mean, this secondary has a championship level safety and 2 championship level corners. I mean, yes, the other safeties knew, the corners knew. I mean, the nickels knew. Picked on those guys a lot in the game. Picked on one of those corners that was in the championship last year in Christian Gray. I mean, at some point you got to just tip your hat to the A&M receivers, man, because I said this in my last video. Even if Notre Dame is a couple ticks or significantly worse than they were last year, it's not like A&M had any trouble against that secondary, right? We thoroughly waxed that secondary with this unit. So it's not like you can say, oh, Notre Dame's not that good on defense. A&M got lucky. A&M dominated. A&M's receivers dominated that game. They were getting open at will. And like you said at the beginning, Marcel could have had 450 yards in the game. He just missed a couple. But it's an encouraging game. I also read that Marcel was 8 for 13, I think, against zone defense. Read it, and you have to read the defense and understand the soft spots in the zones. Yeah. You have to have receivers that know how to sit in zones and not float away and float to trouble, and you have that with this team. And Marcel delivers a very nice ball.
That's where he's reading the zone well.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And all our explosives were against man coverage. The plays he missed were against man coverage. So those will come too, and that percentage is just going to go up.
Yeah, it's going to get it's. I mean, because man, it was a great showing against a tough team, and I was thinking about who's the only team probably in NCAA in college football that could rip off 10 wins, and Notre Dame comes to mind because they're sick of losing. They lost 2 games in a row, and them guys are they're soul searching and trying to redefine themselves.
Yes, and I think for Notre Dame, their whole season hinges on how they rebound from losing 2 in a row to start the year, because they have Purdue, and then they go to Arkansas. I think it's at Arkansas in 2 weeks, and Arkansas looks good and threatening. So they better be very careful. If they get out of this 2-game stretch, I'm with you. I think Notre Dame can get 10, because I think we did just beat a really good football team. And I think for Notre Dame, they went up against 2 damn good football teams to start their year. Credit to them for scheduling them back-to-back. No tune-ups, nothing in between, but a bye week. And that was, due to their game being on Sunday, so they didn't have to have a short week. But yeah, man, it's a good team. They can go out and win 10. Let's see what happens. But all right, Play to Win. I appreciate you calling in, man. You have a great night.
Buddy.
Appreciate
Enjoyed
the
it.
support. Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay,
sir. Bye-bye. Let's check in with the chat real quick. You want me to bench press you? Get in here. Get in here. Laid it on their secondary with our unit. We did. As an Auburn hater, I have to admit they've been looking much improved this season and appear dangerous. Yes, sir. Good offensive line. Good running attack. Good receivers. Quarterbacks running all over the place. Jackson Arnold's big knock is that he throws a bunch of interceptions. Hasn't thrown a pick on the year yet. They gave up a lot to Baylor, so maybe that's in our favor on the road. Did they? I thought they gave up a lot to Baylor. I don't remember the game that well. But I know Baylor couldn't stop them. All right. If A&M loses a game they're not supposed to, it'll be Mississippi State or Missouri. Yeah, that sounds about right. Auburn's possible too, but I like that we get them off a bye. I feel like we're going to do well off this bye week. Notre Dame versus Arky is an interesting matchup, 100%. That shot to the look on the face of Freeman after Corn's touchdown looked like he was legit going to throw up, dude. I was both happy and felt sorry for him at the same time. I felt two contradicting emotions. Tyler, you're on with Drew. How we feeling, Tyler?
Well, that was fun.
Hell yeah, it was, man. We talked about it. You called in 3 times last time. We had all the notes. We knew how the game was going to go. And I think it went pretty similarly to how we envisioned it, but I think A&M's offense performed better than expected.
Most definitely better than expected. I did not think it was going to be a shootout. Yeah, kind of similar to the points that we were making. But yeah, it's very cool to sit here today, and I'm just enjoying it still.
Yeah, we can. That's what the bye week gives us. It's awesome.
That's right, man. Yeah, I mean, I remember telling you a lot of talk show hosts were like, they just can't go 0-2. Notre Dame can't go 0-2. And now, I'm sitting here like, well, it's not our fault that they scheduled, or the schedule checked the 2 best teams on their, or most credible teams on their schedule were the first two opponents.
Yeah, and it wasn't up to them. It was A&M had a say in the equation too. Dude, game day that morning, Saban's breakdown of the game when it was time to pick, I'm sure he said more before this, but it was they can't afford to go 0-2. I think they get it done. It's we're just looking at Notre Dame and Freeman. It's okay, they're just gonna do it. And and now you see Mario Craver, KC, and Marcel, making headlines.
Yeah, it was really fun to watch. It was very stressful to watch.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I went into this game, and I think I told you this was, this is one of those games where you can just enjoy it. It's a fun game. It's at a conference. It's our first real game. If you lose it, it doesn't mean you're out of the playoffs for us. Obviously not for them so much. But that did not at all help, because I'm watching it, and there's so many plays, but with the KC, went downfield and a little bit underthrown, but he came to it, he got to it, and it hit him in his shoulder pads, and just little things where I'm excited, and I just have to just kind of pull back a little bit, we're good, it's all good. And honestly, that seemed like maybe that was the vibe on the A&M sideline, was let's settle in. There's a lot.
Uh-oh, Tyler, I think your phone might have gone to sleep. Yeah, man, there was a settling in process in that game for sure. I mean, you got punched in the mouth in that game, right? The block punt for a touchdown, the Marcel, that misconnect with KC right there. Marcel was a little bit inaccurate early in the game, and he got it going on the 5th offensive drive. He had it going in the 3rd drive, but that was just Mario Craver being Mario Craver for an 86-yarder. But then that 5th drive comes around, and I remember the play chart because it was just such a great moment for the team, because you had given up a score, thrown an interception, given up a field goal. You get the ball back, you're kind of cold on offense. You had the big explosive, but outside of that, not a lot of rhythm. Your first run gets stuffed to Le'Veon, but then it's first down pass to Craver, first down pass to KC, deep ball to KC at the 1-yard line, then a Le'Veon Moss punch home. And it was like, okay, this offense is actually here to play. And they settled in, and the game was just so back and forth, man.
Yeah, man, it was so much more. You can hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good now. I think your phone might have just gone to sleep or something.
Okay. It was so much more pass explosive than I thought. I knew we would be explosive, but I thought it would be more kind of like here and there, and it would be big. They were big, but it was more frequent than I thought. And Moss, he got 20 carries, right?
He got 20 freaking carries. That's huge.
That's fantastic. I mean, it's great news on his health, on his kind of status report, because what did he go from 5 to maybe 10?
Yeah, it was 310 then freaking 20. They were saving him. He's good. They just saved him.
He's good, man, and we really missed him in goal line last year.
Oh my goodness.
In this game, and just fantastic to see. I love the little heartbreak, Selly. And just a really cool game, and there's been talk of, or like I listened to, like, this is kind of a kick the door in type of game, and
yeah.
I wonder, like, I'm not very superstitious. I'm a little stitious, but less than most.
Yeah.
Excuse me while the airplanes are flying over my house. But a lot of people were like, there were moments in this game where it was like, here it comes, like here's A&M, and those moments happened, but it was like the sideline still just kept. Like, they just kept going. Like, the players just kept going. Elko, I love the ass chewing he did on the sideline like that. I don't know if
the chair.
And like that was like a little bit theatric and dramatic, but he was just it was unacceptable. And to see that he cared enough, and that it was just like, I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen an A&M coach do that. And
yeah, I mean, he's taking full ownership of this defense, man. You can tell there. You could tell by the way he handled that bowl game loss last year. You can tell by him being more hands-on with this defense. He's taken it personally there. And yeah, to your point, man, this game was both like classic A&M in the way that they're going to lose this game. Like all the hallmarks of an A&M loss were there. The slow start, the special teams blunder, the 13 penalties, the early penalties. But the difference in the game was that A&M was able to respond to every blunder. They were able to come back, right the ship, regain that focus, and go on a run every single time they were down. They were down 10 twice in this game, maybe in the first half. End up leading at the half, 21-0 or 21-7 second quarter, something really, really good. And then of course you get punched in the mouth, basically a full field drive for a touchdown for them to go ahead late in the game. Yeah. And you do the same damn thing back, and that was after your kickoff got called back. All the hallmarks of that A&M brutal loss were there, but all the new stuff is what makes it so exciting, the ability to get over it.
Yeah, it's like what I was telling you before the game was, we are better than we were last year. They're not as good as they were last year.
Yes.
We had things that we did not have, we did just straight up just did not have last year. And it was like, okay, the pump block, very frustrating, kind of just like it was very early in the game. You roll your eyes, you probably try to disconnect a little bit, and like, okay, just wait, there's lots of game left, and wait for good things to come. And it was like, I'm thinking, watching the game, I'm thinking, well, South Carolina and Auburn put up 20-21 on us last year, just out the gate. And Marcel Reed had game-winning drives that should have been game-winning drives, but it wasn't because of him that we lost those games. So I was like, okay, defense, let's go. Like, let's see what we can do. And I think, I really expected Love to – I'm trying to remember what I told you. I think if they had less than 200 rushing yards or something, I thought that would bode well for us.
They
I
got
don't know.
way less. They got 136. But honestly, and we said, I think you and I talked about, or we talked about at some point, that you stuff the run, you sell out for the run, and
Yeah.
you live and die by whatever happens through the air.
Right.
And they were a little bit more productive than we would have liked in the air. There was some zone coverage busts. The touchdown to Love, I don't know. I think they kind of got switched. They kind of got messed up in an audible. They were not all on the same page on that play. Going back and rewatching it, I really couldn't even tell what they were trying to do because there was a shift. There was an offensive shift. They changed their coverage. They changed the call, and then just players were not on the same page. Then late in the game, you give up a big one to Great House where you just didn't get appropriate depth in your zone coverage. And then there was obviously the big reverse play, and that was after that drive that Elko threw the chair. So you gave up a little bit more, but you did bottle up a running game, and they didn't just run the piss out of it and beat you with that.
Right, and I wonder if that was definitely calculated because even though I certainly didn't think they'd put up 40 points on us.
Right.
That I don't know. Desrick's, did good. Will Lee, and run support, you could question, but that end zone, the breakup pass, that's NFL stuff, dude. I mean, I was watching that run back, and yeah, that was great.
That was a huge moment in the game because you let them get into the goal line, man. They were right there knocking on the door. They're a good short yard team. They're good at punching it, and they did that several times in the game. But A&M stuffed them, man. And then on that third down play, Will Lee broke up the pass, and then there were like 3 short yard stuffs that A&M had in the game, and there were some big plays by the defense. Obviously, it wasn't perfect. The defense has a long way to go, but I think we're seeing flashes of what they can be. It's just like, you can't be giving up the big ones, man. You can't be giving up those, 15, 20, 30-yard chunks in the air. But you did as good as you could have hoped in the run game, absolutely, this game, especially in short yardage.
Yeah, well, and I wonder how much our defense can be. It can be improved, but I think, let's see, game 3, and then this was a massive statement and a challenge to go away at a big brand like Notre Dame. How much of your defense are you are what you are? There's a certain portion, I think, that you are what you are, but I do feel if you had to make me choose between, if you look around the rest of the SEC, Kirby Smart, maybe the defense was, however you would grade it, you kind of trust Kirby Smart to get that in line. But you really are looking for your offense. And then same with Tennessee, like if your offense is lacking, but your defense is strong, you feel good about about Heupel getting your offense. So I feel that way with Elko and the defense. And man, Hicks had the best game of his life. If he can bring that,
so good. Man,
it was just awesome. That tackle in the backfield, he was he was going for the football too at the same time.
He was punching. That was on Price, and he just completely engulfs and just swallows him, and that was just a dominant 5-star D tackle domination right there.
That was violent. That was violent.
Yes. That's what we were getting from, like, we had flashes of that from Nolan. McKinley Jackson had that. Matt Abike had that. That's like that kind of level we got from him that game.
Yep. Yeah, and I hope Scooby's okay. We'll see. But the challenge now is like what I was, saying it would be, because I felt so confident we win, even though the score wasn't what I was predicting.
Yeah.
How do you get your players to show up for Arkansas, or even Auburn? I mean, Auburn's. I think we're gonna go to town their secondary, but I just don't know what the game's going to shake out to. Can you show up for that, even though it's at home? Can you show up for Arkansas? Can you show up for? I think you have to show up for Missouri, the way their running back has been running.
You have to.
South Carolina's having a bad season so far. You still got to show up for that.
Yep.
Florida, Lagway's thrown 6, however many picks. You still got to show up for that.
Yep.
But it. I remember when Elko was when he was first hired, he had he had said he kind of had this cell phone policy, like look, when you come in, like we have certain days of the week or maybe it's certain times of the day where you come in, you eat lunch, and like we like no cell phones, like you check your cell phone in, like you get to know your team, you have all these transfer ins, incoming freshmen, things like that. And I was just like, I like that.
Yeah.
I like things like that. And that's I don't know if that's still true but it just I think his attention to detail makes me feel more at ease when it comes to, not reading the press clippings, not taking
Yeah.
the rap.
100%. And this team has been very intentional on righting the wrongs of last year. The whole finish mantra, right? Like there were so many games down the stretch last year, two in particular. You can count South Carolina and Texas in here too, but Auburn and Southern Cal, where you just didn't finish the job. The
Yeah.
season, you just didn't finish the job. And what do they do versus Notre Dame? They finished the freaking job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something they can reflect on from last year is how do you handle success at the highest level? Beating
Right.
LSU at home, that monumental national showcase, blackout, big, program defining win. You just had another one of those. Then what? What's the
Yeah.
next part? And you're challenged with that in week 3 now versus week 8 or whatever it was, game 8, and you have a whole season ahead of you. So they better write that. They better get on that horse right away because, like you said, Auburn has some stuff, but A&M has some stuff too.
Yeah, and whatever the critics say, you've already beaten one of the three or four toss-ups. LSU, Texas, Notre Dame. Well, maybe I guess 3. One of the 3. South Carolina is looking, but it doesn't matter. You've beaten one of the 3 definitive hard games,
And it was the first one. Yep.
and it was the first one. It was early, so I think it almost maybe it is perfect timing. I mean, you get it early, then you have a bye week. Reed. Do you think you hurt his shoulder on that targeting?
I don't know that it was his shoulder. I didn't get that impression. I mean, he was still slinging it.
No, that's what I was thinking but when I watched the replay, I was like, because he went out and he went into the tent, and I'm like,
my impression was stinger because when he went down,
Yeah.
I'm showing it in the camera, he kind of wiggled both fingers. I think it was like he gets hit in the shoulder area, and you just get that kind of pinched nerve thing, and it just kind of deadens your arms and sends that shockwave.
Yeah.
And he comes back a play later, so I believe it was stinger. And I didn't talk about this. I meant to make a point of this. I mean, Marcel Reed's gotten hit big 4 times on the year already. But
I know.
he's doing really well just getting to the next play. Obviously sat down for Utah State because he could, but in this game, I mean, the best play of the game happened after he got hit 4 or 5 times. And, we've been looking for that toughness since, you could say Calzada had it, Kellen Mond had it. Calzada had it for a game, really, and Mond had it in 2020. Maybe Reed has that too.
Yeah. Well, we have 2 absolute weapons in the receiving core, and credit to Derek Miller. I mean, I hope we open up, just keep that guy at all costs, because these were upgrades according to anyone you listen to, but no one knew that they were going to be jackpots the way Derek Miller and Mike Elko and his personnel knew.
Yeah.
It's harder to stop the pass than it is to stop the run.
Yeah.
It just is. And so I think, but we also have a really good, I think we have a great run blocking offensive line.
Yep.
And we obviously have a great running back and running back stable. That's how you crush inferior opponents you're supposed to beat. But when it comes to, I don't know, LSU, the ones that are this is kind of borderline, could go either way. It's, even if your opposition has an elite pass defense, they're only going to take away maybe 20 to 30% of your pass production. That's just the way it is. If you have an elite run defense, you could hold them to 50%.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, if you were to grade our offense, you would maybe put it in the 90s, and hopefully if you were to grade our defense, you put it in the late 80s, which is weird, right? Because it's an Elko coach team. But sometimes that's just the way it is. I mean, look at Sark. His offense is dwindling, and he's got one of the best defenses of this year and then last year, and years before. But it's just the way it is, and that's not a bad position to be in, because especially in this modern game, it's a little bit tailored to having, if you have a good offense, for you to be successful. So I love it, man. Really excited. I really enjoyed the game, even though it was very stressful. It was so much fun to watch.
It was a great time, man. All right, Tyler, man, I appreciate you calling in after the fact. It was good to talk before and after, man. I'm sure we'll talk before some of the games coming up. You have a great night, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. You too.
Yeah, dude, it was super stressful. I'm here in the watch party, and I know a lot of you guys were in there too, and I just kept saying to myself that whole fourth quarter, this is so painful. Why do we do this to ourselves? But why do we like it so much? It's just like a heart attack. We're here at home just watching the team we love. and we live and die with every rep. It's such a crazy thing, man. Being a sports fanatic, being an A&M fanatic, college football, it really is the best thing ever, man. You just live with it. You're living and dying with every play. It's so great. Lit Sparks, you're on with Drew. How you feeling, my friend?
Oh, I'm feeling fine. I'm enjoying this moment, just knowing that Notre Dame's 0-2. That's a refreshing feeling.
Yeah.
But I know for them, the big game that they got to really hope, and it's a team that has to do well, which it's USC. So we'll see. I'm sure the AP poll will just put them somewhere high. So then if Notre Dame does win, they're in.
Yeah. If they went up,
But
I never bought the narrative that 10-2 Notre Dame doesn't get in. Sure, maybe there's a scenario where there's a bunch of really, really good teams, but most likely they're putting Notre Dame in at 10-2.
yeah, I don't buy that they won't get in. They love them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the media's got to have a brand, and the Notre Dame brand is one that speaks heavily to them. But
Yep.
oh well. Yeah, I know my prediction was 9-3. I had the Notre Dame win. It was a lot closer than I was expecting. I also higher scoring than I had predicted.
Oh yeah.
What I was thinking, so what I had, when I recall from when you did this earlier, I had LSU, South Carolina, and Texas. I'm also going to have to do some changes. I think we do protect Kyle Field, but I am worried that Arkansas or Missouri is also the trap.
Yes.
I'm going to say it's going to be Missouri after the bye, and then but LSU, I'm also going to stick with that one as the loss, and
Okay.
just that's where I'm changing. I think you get Texas with how they're doing. If they can't fix it, there's hope.
Yes.
And boy, would that be a lovely day for us.
That would be lovely, man. That's a revenge game. That's an emotional game. And if A&M plays it right and Texas doesn't progress the way they want to, that's definitely on the table for A&M. And of course, there's another conversation. It's week 3, right? That game is week 12.
Exactly.
Long way to go. But we're just taking a stamp in time right now, and I'm totally in agreement with you. We have the same record prediction.
Yeah, now I've heard Texas has a lot of injuries. I think they've lost their center potentially. That could be one thing that really hurts them, but you can't look that far ahead. I mean, things can change. So when I'm looking at Auburn, I'm excited that OU gets them first. I do think OU, because they had Arnold last year, I mean, it's a different play style because it's under Freeze's offense, but I think OU knows him too well. Now he knows Brent Venables' defense, but if it's more Venables-ish, it might hit him harder.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was definitely one of those interesting. I'm glad we get them after. But what do you think when it comes to Auburn, Mississippi State, and Florida? Like, do you think Auburn's the one to be worried about just with how Florida has been and the energy that could be in the Mississippi State night game?
Yeah, I think the scariest two spots right now are Auburn and Mississippi State. We're going to learn so much about Florida, though, between now and then. Right now, they're kind of reeling, but they have 3 big games to get right or get wrong before A&M. But, yeah, I mean, the Auburn is scary, man. You're coming off of a big emotional high. You have a bye week. You have to avoid 2 letdowns, right? The post-emotion letdown and the bye week letdown. So on the A&M side alone in that Auburn game, there's some scary factors you have to deal with. So there's definitely a scare factor there. I like A&M and Elko's chances of coming out of the bye week strong, though. But that's another historical precedent we have to correct, right? It's coming off of these wins. It's capitalizing on the big wins, and Auburn's the first test, though, so that's scary for that reason. And then State, like I said, I'm glad that's a big-time night game with the blackouts. Kyle Field's going to be rocking, especially if you beat Auburn. I think that helps us in the game. So I would say those two are a little bit more scary. I'd say Auburn's a little bit more scary to me right now coming off the bye.
Yeah, same. I mean, as someone mentioned, the bad luck we have after bye is nerve-wracking, but I would love it if we can clean up those penalties and not have 13. I mean, if this was the floor of Aggie performance, I'll take it if we can win.
Yeah, I said after the game, this is the worst we'll be all year, and that's so exciting, but we have to make that so.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and also get that defense up, especially I think they took to heart based on, like, I mean, you showed the Regis interview. I mean, they hated that their run defense was like the weak link. They
Yeah.
took it to heart. As long as they can keep that mentality, then I would much rather face opponents passing, especially if they could throw it to Des Ricks and maybe we can start getting some more interceptions.
Yeah.
Because I feel like our guys have gotten close, but they keep colliding.
Yeah. We almost had one to seal the game late.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But oh well, it is what it is. Yeah, what I wanted to say for final thoughts is we need to get Mike Elko more chairs. Not to sit, just to throw. Get that team amped up as high as it can go, because that's what I want. What we want to see. We just want to see this team. I mean, we haven't ever seen them quit, but to keep fighting and scratching, that's a lot better sign of life than not at all.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Man, we're going to have two different files of chairs. We're going to have the Armage Reed Adams chair, and then we're going to have like a stack of disposable chairs for Elko just to tear apart whenever this defense is lacking. But all right, Lit Sparks, I appreciate the call, man. You have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, guys, we have one caller waiting. It's Noble. Jeb, this is a good time for you to get in. I'm going to take a 1-minute break. We've been going for an hour. I'm going to run to the restroom and come right back for you guys. And we're back. Thank you guys for being here. Love doing these shows. I mean, I looked forward to doing the shows after a big win if it came versus Notre Dame. That's always so much more fun. Because I've told this before, but my first experience covering A&M on this channel was 2022. And you enter the season with so much excitement, and then it punches you right in the face week 2. It's so great to be here with you guys, celebrating a big Aggie win. And of course, this whole show has been about taking that next step, and we hope we do it. But we got Noble Guy. Noble, you're on with Drew. How we feeling, Noble?
Oh, boys and girls, what a great freaking week.
What
you
a
know,
week.
historical precedents were, shattered, and we're just, going into the week, like you said, feeling so high on life right now. It's pretty damn good.
It's amazing, man. We don't get these too often in Aggie land. We get them every now and then, but early in the year with so much life, it's a breath of fresh air.
Oh, yeah. I mean, and the crazy thing is, I went into the season pretty high on the capabilities of our offense, and in no world did I think that we would 40-piece Notre Dame and with room to spare, essentially, with more meat on the bone like this. Like this takes our capabilities like much further than I ever thought it could be.
It really does, man. I mean, that's the whole kind of, what's the word? That's like the whole thought process going into this stretch, right? It's like you get through these first two, whatever happens, happens. You beat Notre Dame. The ceiling blows off the year. I think you might have said this on the show. Like, the ceiling is open on the year. Like, everything's possible. You learn what you need to learn, and you get the big win. And it's not even in conference play yet. And we got that signal right now.
Oh yeah. I'm so excited about. I just wanted to kind of go over the what the team did.
Let's
Each
do it.
individual position group, and obviously I'll say it off give everyone a spoiler alert. Everyone did really good. We won a road game against a ranked team, so obviously everyone played pretty damn good to get to that point. There were a few miscues here and there, but we'll get to that. First of all, like one absolute psyop by Colin Klein for the first couple of weeks. Everyone's like, "Oh yeah, don't worry. We'll this passing game is to get to get Marcel settled in, and then we'll go back to our traditional ground and pound." And it was not that at all. It was like, "No, you're gonna here's the script. We're gonna show you what we're gonna do, and we're also gonna trick you into thinking we were gonna do that and run those like the wheel concepts and the getting the DBs to bite on the flats to get Mario Craver that big old run
I know.
after the catch." And then what a great, this is like insane, like recruiting material. Like imagine like just showing this to like a high school quarterback or receiver. He's going to have those guys running wide open all day long for
Dude.
quarterbacks to make that connection.
Step on up, receivers. Line up. You want to come play in the Colin Klein system. You want to come be the next Mario Craver on the road to the spotlight at Notre Dame. Come to A&M.
Yeah. And I don't think, and I think this is the first time we can say this in a long time. We've always, every year we've kind of just thought like, what kind of team, what kind of offensive team can we be? And then end of the day, we we are limited. We want to be really good at what we do. But for the last several years, it's been like everything feeds off the run game, and then we supplement it with the pass. But now we're in that rare era among teams where, as offense goes, we'll serve it however you want it. Like you want to defend the run, we'll shred you in the air, and if you decide to drop everybody back, we'll just pound it down your throat.
Hey, dude, I'm looking forward to the team that decides to sell out for the pass, man. What do you do against this offense once this running game? These running backs are only going to get healthier, man. I mean, Le'Veon had 20 freaking carries. We had Ruben going on that one pass down the middle to get to the goal line.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
These running backs are going to come on, man. It's a matter of time before people wake up and say, we got to stop Craver. We can't let Craver beat us. Well, you're going to let Le'Veon Moss mess around and drop 150 on your head. That's going to happen next.
There's an argument to be made that like the running backs were relatively mid compared to everybody else on the offensive side of the ball. Like they weren't bad by any means, but like holy crap, like that's how good everyone else was around them.
Yeah, it was insane. I'm not gonna shortchange Le'Veon though, man. 3 goal line touchdowns.
Absolutely.
We missed that so much. He had a huge first down run on a 3rd and long. Le'Veon's back, man.
He's so good at churning his extra like interest into yards and falling forward.
It's crazy how much like the leg is reconstructed, right? ACL and MCL, and he's driving, he's taking hits, getting 20 carries on the road against Notre Dame, physical game, and he's there dancing, breaking hearts after a touchdown. It's incredible to see, and he's just gonna get better and better now.
Yeah. Well, kind of getting into it, I think like from an overall offensive unit, A plus. I don't think you can play much better than the way they can play much better than the way they did. It's the crazy part.
Yes.
But A plus from an overall production standpoint. I think from the offensive line, like there were times where like it wasn't necessarily pretty, but I mean Marcel had time.
He did
all day and all night long, and no sacks. So you got to give them an A. I gave them an A minus just because of all the false starts. Like that was pretty ugly. I will say it, not necessarily in the last few plays, but I thought I saw Notre Dame linebackers clapping, but scattered throughout the game. So that might have, been a couple of those. But either way, got to be more disciplined in that. Running backs, I thought, like I gave them an A for. They averaged, just 4 yards a clip, but they, each yard was crucial, especially in the red zone with Le'Veon. And then they were excellent in pass protection.
I was going to say, dude, Amari Daniels was contacting his assignment, man. He was hitting hard on pass pro. That was so good to see.
And Moss was too. Like there was a play where Marcel recognized the Mike linebacker blitz, and he had Le'Veon like step into the hole right in the middle of the gap, and buy him time to get like a pretty yard chunk play to one of the receivers. I thought from a tight end perspective, it was that they're for the most part their role was limited to blocking, but then when they did go out for passes, obviously they shined bright. No bigger than obviously Nate Borkature. Like I never in a million years would I have guessed like the final play of the game go to your blocking tight end to win the game.
Best hands on the team. Best hands on the team. That's
apparently, I mean that's exciting. And then I just like it makes me excited because I really want to see Nyblack and the tight ends in general get going.
Nyblack had one.
Yeah.
I mean, Marcel just laid it a little bit too much.
Yeah. And then I think. But because those tight ends are going to be crucial just because the benefit to going to Berkshire at the end is the fact that he's a big body, and
Yeah.
like your two receivers or your studs, they're great. Particularly between the 20s, but when he gets into the red zone, it's going to get more compressed. You can see they were double bracketing at the end. And so if you can get your tight ends going, that's going to be absolutely huge.
Well, dude, in the offseason, all we talked about was Black and Theo. They got to be the red zone threats. We got these two big tight ends. They got to be the guy. We got small receivers. Who the hell would have thunk it would have been Nate Borkesher, man, that wins you the game in week 3? That's freaking awesome.
Yeah. They were chipping a lot. I'm wondering because if you go back and watch the game, there were some, but there was not a ton of like flats and checkdowns. At least not that Marcel took. Like it seemed like we were swinging for the fences all night long. It was impressive that we completed as many as we did, considering they were dropping back. So I would like to see more like checkdown options. But I mean, hey, like if Marcel's going to hit those down deep, I mean, go ahead, I guess.
Yeah, maybe Marcel scramble is the checkdown.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. And then wide receivers, really easy grade, A+. Like I never could have, I guess, like they could have played this well to this degree. That is insane. Like what is his name? Concepcion's catch radius is massive for a guy who's under 6 foot. And then obviously Craver's speed was on display. It's exciting to think that like Concepcion might be slept on somehow. Moving forward.
Who the hell do you sell out for, man? I mean, and Bussey's going to come on. He had a couple of big grabs in the game, had the kickoff return. Yeah. He's just going to get more and more comfortable. I mean, come on. We haven't even seen ABR yet, and we've heard about him.
Yeah. And then I saved the quarterback for last just because that's probably like the most you can get into. Marcel had obviously, balled out. Marcel's ability to somehow complete the low percentage pass is insane. Like there were checkdowns, there are other because Klein had an open receiver on most plays essentially, but he would take the deep shot down and like even though he was less than 50%, that's the biggest idea ability is to increase the the percentage. But like for the last few games, like he was hitting nothing but checkdowns because that's what the game script called for, was like everything was in the flats, which helped sucker the Notre Dame DBs down, but then for the most part, we were like swinging away at the fences, and he's able to complete those. There are, he definitely, missed a couple throws where it could have been, more yards, more touchdowns, including like a 99-yarder essentially.
Yeah.
But then also there were still some mistakes. Like there were a couple times where the ball was in danger. 2 in particular. One was in the red zone where he had the wide open. I think might have been Berkshire again, actually. And he decided, and I get it. KC is his number one target, but like hit the check down.
Yeah, hit the easy one.
And then the other one was, let me see. It was the pick to he was targeting ABR, but that's Leonard Moore on him. Like KC had he was limited to 4 catches for a reason because Leonard Moore was assigned over him. And I know like ABR is our bigger bodied receiver out there, but like that's a senior going against a redshirt sophomore, I think, or sophomore, maybe a true sophomore. So didn't love that, but I mean, that's just like you made it. You had some faith in your guy, and the other guy was just better.
If you're gonna throw it up like that, you got to throw the safer ball out of bounds, or only your receiver can get it. He threw it right, way too far in bounds, right there for Leonard Moore, maybe the best corner in the country. But I want to touch on something you talked about, how in the early games they were attacking the flats, attacking that bubble. I loved how in game 1, UTSA sold out for the run and kind of dared Marcel Reed to beat him in the short game. It was like they were backing off in coverage and they were selling out for run. And they did that. The freaking bubble was lethal in the game. Had some big plays off of them. You scored off of a slant to KC. That was great. And then versus Utah State, I was surprised that they put that pump fake bubble for the Bussy looking like he's going to go blocked, and he cuts up field. And that was a touchdown. I was surprised they showed that. But then they added a third wrinkle to it in that kind of flood concept that Mario Craver scored on, where he motions and the safety comes crashing down. And then you also have like the tight end going out for a route, and that occupies the other corner. And the safety's out of position to make that tackle because he's crashing down. Oh, here comes the freaking, we have to play this flat. We have to play this short pass. Cuts up in like a wheel, and he goes. That was like the third wrinkle to that play that we had seen game to game to game. So they were looking at the other receivers, the blockers going out for the pass. That they probably saw that on tape. And then, it's Craver going on that wheel. And it's just awesome to see that whole like 3-tier evolution go into that play.
Yeah, Colin Klein played 5e chess. I have a feeling he's been playing this up for a month, using the first 2 weeks to intentionally misdirect Notre Dame, and they got absolutely suckered into it. That's why people were kind of panicking, like, oh, we didn't cover against Utah State and UTSA and all that, and like we pulled our starters essentially by third quarter,
Yeah.
and we were intentionally holding back our hand, like we showed like we had the athletes, and then like quite frankly we made everyone believe that it was check down Charlie at quarterback, and Marcel was anything but based on this last game.
Yeah, man, it was awesome to see. So, what's your final grade for the quarterback?
I gave him a B plus.
It's good.
I mean, like average 20 yards of completion. His just needs to get better with the the getting a higher completion percentage, and then seeing he did miss some open like this. I hope this is helping out. He'll get better. There were some open receivers. Colin Klein's too good, so you got to make sure you take care of that. The only thing I'll comment real quick on Colin Klein is that he while he was dialing it up, it feels weird. I didn't love the final sequence of plays
Oh yeah.
going into the red zone. Like we found ourselves at a 3rd and 16, and I mean we won. So who am I gonna, what am I
Yeah.
gonna say? But like,
Go ahead.
I mean, I thought we should have handed the ball off a few more times. We had 2 timeouts to work with.
Yeah. We took
I didn't
one. We
hate
took
the
one with us. We didn't use one. I thought we could have used one
yeah.
for a running play, but you have to also remember there were 2 false starts in there, right? That was also part of
Just
it.
true. Yeah, yeah. Absolutely. And then, but
But I
then I
agree.
think we were going to live and die by the sword at that point of like, our passing game's been working, so we're
Yeah.
going to feast off of that. So I think Colin Klein's adaptable. Like, obviously, this is a side of Colin Klein we've never seen before, where, but I also don't think he's ever had the tools like this to work before, whether it was
Correct.
last year, obviously, or even at Kansas State. And I mean, this is going to be an exciting year. Like I said, we can serve it either way, how you want it on
Yeah,
offense.
exactly. And Silver Beast, you took the words out of my brain right now. I really think this offense liked the look from like 10, 15-yard range, because in the post-game presser, he was asked about how he felt about the receiver matchup. Was he surprised it went so well? And he said very definitively that we felt like we had that one. We felt like we were going to win that battle. And I think they felt more so than just kind of inching your way to the goal line and risking the clock running out, that just going for these strikes, going for the end zone at the 10, 15-yard range was how they wanted to, like you said, live and die by the sword. I think that was their play. I think that was the range they wanted to attack from, and it worked out. I think we missed your grade on
Yeah.
the tight ends. You talked
I'll,
about the tight end, but we never got the grade.
oh, sorry, B plus. Yeah. So overall, I gave it an A, the whole offense an A plus with, but like everyone, like the tight ends were B plus just because for the most part they chipped, and I think they were supposed to go out into routes, but then they were a little slow at times because you didn't see anyone sinking underneath in the. I think especially in the third quarter, everything was like in that 10 to 15 yard range, like you said. But it would have been nice to have some flat route concepts to make the DBs sink it a
Yeah,
little bit further. But
yeah.
that's it.
And I noticed after some of Amari Daniels' block, because he was out there for a lot of the passing downs, that he was available to go out for a route after just like, his assignment clears, he can go out for his like little curl or whatever he does as the check down. Like that's going to come eventually, I think. I think that's the next
I do.
wrinkle. But they were really focused on protection with those guys this game until very, very late in the game, and it ended up working out. Did you want to grade the defense too?
Yeah, I'll do it real quick. I'm more of an offensive guy, so
Yeah.
but defense, I did not expect like the defense to be the thing that took over the game, and I think it's a work in progress. But I think they played pretty well considering all things. Now they gave up 33 points on defense. Obviously, 7 came from special teams. So not great, but not terrible either. Because I think it looked like Notre Dame has a. I think Denbrock's a good OC, and CJ Carr played really well, and obviously they have an amazing stable of running backs.
Yeah.
I think our. I'll just go through the units real quick. I have let's see, the defensive line I gave, and I might have been, I don't know, B plus, maybe. Maybe it could be an A minus. I think it's like close, like it's right on the line either
But the
way.
D-line played
Only
really
reason
well.
why, yeah, the only reason why I didn't grade higher is because like they're not great at like pushing, like when there's a scrum they do get kind of pushed.
Sure.
I think that's
They're a
just a
light
size
D-line.
thing.
Yeah, they're a light D-line.
Yeah,
relatively.
But they're aggressive and they attack, so I love
Yes.
that.
Yes. A lot of
Same
TFLs,
thing.
big tackles for
Mhm.
loss in the game, forcing a punt instead of an attempt to go for it at times, forcing a field goal at the goal line. That was really good. One thing that would hold it from the A ranks, I agree with the B plus, was that they didn't get a pass rush with 4. But that
Yes,
was an
that's
O
another
line.
thing.
That
Yeah.
was an O line that we expected to be good this year. They were not good versus Miami, but they protected a lot better this game.
Yeah, I guess like Ruben Bain is that guy at Miami,
Oh,
and
he's definitely that guy.
they just had a rough game,
It was
but
also
yeah,
game
I
1
think
for them.
exactly, yeah, a pretty solid showing from the defensive line. Hope you get more pass rush and sacks in the future. Linebackers, I thought pretty solid to be honest. I thought like at times it was like, and I was kind of going back and forth, an A minus or a B plus. They would bust at times,
Yeah.
but then more times than not, they were in the right place. And I think at the very end they got gassed.
They definitely got
'Cause overall,
gassed. Yeah, Sanford
yeah,
had a really good game. He was on time. I think Scooby was doing really well before he went down. I thought York had a pretty bad game.
yeah, he
I
was
thought York was out of
kind of,
position a lot. He wasn't very flexible and kind of helping the
yeah,
gaps that weren't his. It was like he was in his gap or he wasn't in the play too often this game. I thought it was a bad 20
yeah, he
yard
was
game.
kind of a non-factor in the game
Yeah.
aside from just his captain responsibilities, I
Oh,
imagine.
there's
But
still leadership stuff he adds, obviously intangibles for sure.
yeah, I thought, but they were. I thought the linebackers were unsung heroes when they didn't take away the run game, but they really like
Oh yeah.
neutered it. I mean, you kept like these guys ran for like 200 yards against us last year, and we kept them like at 120 or something like that, 4 yards a clip.
Yep.
That's I'd say that's great work
The
on that
biggest
part. And
defensive plays of the game came from Howell, Sanford,
Yep.
Hicks, Regis, and Ratcliffe. Those were the
Yeah,
guys that
Ratcliffe
made
had
the
a
big
play.
plays. Did I say Howell? I said Howell and Scooby before he went down. Those were the guys making
Oh
the
yeah,
big plays.
yeah.
Yes.
So I thought like, and that's I think even last year, like you saw the linebackers get better throughout the season. So I mean, that can definitely get better. We need to build the depth up there. I think that's the biggest key.
I think
I mentioned
Sanford's
it when-
emergence is big because this team
Yep.
obviously likes Lockhart. Unfortunately, Lockhart struggled. Young guy, first time on the
Yeah,
road
it was
in a big way. He played early. They kind of went away from him late, and then Sanford played really well.
Yeah, we got a rotation we can work at. I think in the future, like what you'll see, because this is what we did in the first 2 games, is like if we can pull ahead and there's ability for us to let the young guys play, we will do that. We don't care. I don't think as far as betting goes, I don't think we'll be covering a lot of massive spreads if there are any of those left, just because we're gonna want to get those younger guys experience.
Yeah.
And rest of the starters and prevent injury, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's the front seven. I thought the cornerbacks probably had, relatively speaking, the worst game, just because of the zone bust. But Deds Ricks had played really well. I think Will Lee just being a little greedy at times, like but nothing went over top.
I was going to say,
And-
yes. It seemed like they were selling out over the top, and those stop routes, the comebacks, those hurt Willie. But, last year when such an issue was the explosive pass, they largely bottled that up besides the double reverse pass and the there was a zone bust late in the game to Great House, and then, of course, the wheel to Love. 3 plays where you got beat. They weren't giant besides the double reverse, but those were the ones that got you. But for the most part, all of Will Lee's losses were shorter gains. But some
Yeah,
of them for first
exactly.
downs, he got beat
yeah.
by what I think is a good receiver. He has to be better, but I think he's going to be
huge
fine.
too.
He was
Yeah.
huge, and he could stop on
Malachi
a
Fields is a
dime.
big. I don't think they're the SEC. There's mostly like speedy receivers rather than big body receivers.
Yeah.
And Will Lee fared pretty well against those last year.
Yeah.
So I mean, if Will Lee is the problem in your secondary, I feel pretty good.
You're in a good place.
About, like,
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
then I think, and this will wrap up with the safeties. I think one of your commenters mentioned this, the chat, that like college football is the way you kind of win now is you have the explosive plays and you limit the other teams. And obviously we shredded like on our ability to make explosive plays, and then our safeties did and our DBs did enough to make sure like we didn't give up too many on our end. I thought the safeties did not a bad job. I gave them a B plus, or was it aim?
I would go B
What do you
minus because I think there was
Oh, B.
1 or 2 bad plays by Brooks, although he also had some big plays. And then there were those 3 busts. I think what did you give for the corners?
The corners I gave a B minus.
Okay, I think I would go
I
B
might
minus for
reverse that
both
though.
corners and safeties. I would go B minus there. I'd go B for linebackers. I would go B plus for D line, and I would call the entire defensive performance a B minus. I think. I don't think it's as
Yeah.
bad as some people think it is. I just think that, I think York had a bad game, and that's going to hurt your defense. I think you were going up against a good offense, and I still think that the zone busts are what are literally holding you back a whole letter grade right now. I think without those
Yeah.
busts, this looks like an entirely different game. And without those quarterback misses by Marcel, this also looks like an entirely different game. So that's the difference right there, in my opinion.
Yeah, but it's a good starting point, and we ultimately ended up winning a track meet, and then as far as intangibles go, like in grit, the team overall.
That's huge.
So go down, in that manner, get sucker punched in the face. Also, I gave the special teams a C minus. I never grade special teams, but I mean, aside from making I gave him a C minus for obviously the blocked punt issue, and then and it wasn't a bad flag, but like it would have been an A minus or a B plus if we didn't get the flag.
The Bussy return.
Yep, exactly. Yep. A little bit ticky tacky, but they threw the flag, so I mean, therefore you get docked a grade for that. But I mean, it worked out either way, I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, like as far as the overall of the team, like insane grit. Like I think this is the part of the like people should remember. Like this is a pretty veteran team, especially on the line.
Oh yeah.
And so like the ability to weather the storm, like that's what gives me confidence in some of those trap games and projecting for the future. Like there might be a time where we can slip up, like, oh, maybe Missouri ambushes and gets up, like 17-7 again, like that, like the way Notre Dame did. But the ability for us to fight back, like even we fought back against Auburn, and then it came down to essentially Peyton Thorne looking like Josh Allen out there, and then a dropped 2-point conversion to your third string running back, and overtime was the difference in that game. For the most part, like this team has never showed quit. I think at times at the end of last year, I'm not going to redress all that, but we were just out personneled, especially in the offensive side of things.
Yep.
And now, like, our offense really has the ability to lift the ceiling of this team. It's like I said, better than I thought it would. If this defense can just get to a place where they're not a liability, essentially, and I didn't even think they were a liability in this game,
Yep.
And stay healthy, is another part, then, the future quite bright.
Absolutely, man. Noble, I love the grades. I'll review them one time. I'm going to get you out of here. We have an A plus for the offense and a B minus, you said, for the defense. No, you gave the defense a B minus or a B?
I gave the B just because I'm out of grade a little bit generously on the defense. I'm not a defensive guy, I'll admit.
Yeah.
So, especially me be able to like let a secondary know what to do. That's a little bit more unqualified for.
Yeah.
But no, B minus. I was gonna say like give it like maybe like an 84.5 is what got them to a B.
Yeah.
But I could see like being an 81 or something like that too.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of room for improvement for sure on that side of the field. I think Marcel's going to get better over the course of the year, man. It's exciting stuff, Noble. And we're going to keep talking about it every week. Hope to hear from you soon, man.
Oh, yeah.
You have a good one.
Absolutely. Gig 'em, everybody.
Gig 'em. All right, guys. I have time for one more call. SB, sorry you jumped on late. I have to get out after this call, but I'll get you next show, SB. All right, Jeb. Close us out. How we feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good, man. I did hit hit leg day on Sunday, so my legs are like still recovering.
You want to hear what's messed up? In my celebration, I don't know if it was in my celebration or sometime during the stream on Saturday, I hit the table really hard, or I hit the wall, or I did something. My hand is messed up. I can barely grip a cup of water with my left hand right now. I think I like fractured a bone or something. It's really messed up. And it wasn't even a leg day. It was just punching a table from watching A&M football.
Jeez, man. Have you how late did you stay up on Saturday? Because I think I went home and I kind of closed it out.
Yeah, you said goodnight. I think we went for another hour or two. I think the stream went till like 12:30. Was anybody in the chat? Anybody in the chat stay super late in the stream? We stayed on that watch party till after midnight.
That's a long night, man. I don't know how you did it.
Well, this is all I need, man. This gets me energized. This is it. Someone asked me, we did the long stream in the off season with CFB, the season-long dynasty, and someone asked me about Adderall. It's like, no, Aggie football is enough to get me pretty
Seriously,
amped.
man. Yeah, I mean that's all a man needs: AC, a TV, and a chair, and you're good to go. Yeah,
That's
dude.
exactly it.
me and my friends. I had some friends come down from Dallas, and we bar hopped to like 5 different places to watch this game. So after that whole night, I was like, dude, we have to win. After
Yeah.
going to this many places, we got to come out with the win, man.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Dude, they surprised you, right? You had this. You like kind of begrudgingly called it a loss coming into it. And
Oh yeah, I think I had it as a loss, and I said they could. I mean, I'm not gonna walk it back, but I said they should win this game on paper. I think they are better, but I don't. I think with the road environment and with Notre Dame playing, desperate, they have to win this game. I said I think Notre Dame's just gonna want it more, and you can tell Notre Dame definitely wasn't expecting to lose this game. Freeman and their fan base. I mean, I've been enjoying. I think the most I've been enjoying their fan base having a meltdown. I've been loving it.
it's been a huge meltdown. And as many good Notre Dame fans that I encountered these last 2
I
years,
agree.
especially on this channel, the commenters were great. People called in last year. We have I think Brent. He's a constant commenter. He donates to the channel. Super cool guy. But
Damn.
you're seeing the crazies come out of the woodwork, especially on social media, coping with this loss. But that's any like primetime fan base is gonna have that.
Any
That's
fan
a
base is gonna have
heartbreak loss,
meltdown.
dude. That's a loss. Like, what kind of loss is that similar to? I mean, how often do you lose a game
Fourth-
on the last play at
Fourth
home?
and goal. Yeah, I was already
Dude.
counting that as a loss. And hey, good. Listen, I'm not surprised, man. Berkshire, from what I saw in the spring game, he looks good, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought he looked good. So I'm
Yeah.
glad he got the last minute touchdown against number 30. Who's that? Is that the
34,
linebacker?
Drake Bowen. He's like their leader at the
Hell
linebacker
yeah.
level.
That-
And that dude
that
was laying the
defense-
lumber all night. He had a pretty good game until then.
laying the lumber, and you can tell he was talking mad shit. So I'm glad he got scored on. That made it even sweeter.
It was sweet, dude. So sweet.
And seeing Jeremiah, Jeremiah Love and the other running back, you could tell they hated this team, man, because they were feisty, dude.
Yeah, they really were.
Very, very feisty. So I'm glad we clamped down on them in the second half, man. I mean, it's all momentum, dude. And that game was so nerve-wracking, man. I was getting so
Dude.
annoyed with all the third down conversions, dude, were driving me insane.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Third down was rough.
I stayed cool. I'm typically stayed cool, dude. When I'm out in public, I've been a lot better with the games over the last couple of years. Getting older. But there were some times in those third down conversions, dude, where it drove me insane. Especially the one where they ran the ball, it was like 39. They ran it. I'm like, oh my fucking god.
That's
dude,
what happened against
the-
UTSA, and that's something we're susceptible to, and we have to figure out, man. Those third and long running attempts where we have these DNs, we're very edge oriented in the D end room. A lot of guys like to get after the passer, and they punish that.
It's just, and the slow starts, man. It's just, I don't know if anybody's noticed it, but like all 3 games, our first drive, there's always a holding call
Yeah.
or some kind of penalty.
100%.
And it's just slow. And like once we went down 17-7, I was like, dude, are we about to get blown out?
I was worried. I mean, I was very worried at that point. I'm glad the team was, and I'm glad the team that's what made the win even more impressive.
Oh yeah, if this was Jimbo's team, we ain't coming back from that. I
Yeah.
mean, those teams were not built to be down. Once teams went up 2 scores against us, that was it. It was a wrap.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm glad we showed some fight. It's actually refreshing to finally see an offense after so many bad years of having mediocre offenses.
I know,
To
dude.
be
It's
explosive.
insane.
It's fun to watch, fun players. It's just like, man, it's aggravating because it's like we finally fixed the offense, but now the defense is like it's still a work in progress. They did some good things for sure, but
Yeah.
zone defense to me still, it's just like I don't understand why they're so bad at zone defense, man. It's insane.
I think one of the things, I mean, honestly, and I know we give Bryce Anderson a lot of shit, his coverage is pretty good. He's just bad at tackling. I think we might have missed him. It's because some of those zone busts came after he went down.
Yeah, I'm ready to start Bryce over Brooks. I'm not.
Brooks is a
ending it
strong safety. He's not a free safety. His strength is at the line in the
Right.
box. And he had some good plays there, but in coverage and an open field and making those decisions, it's rough.
He's not good. I mean, I still like Brooks. I still,
Yeah.
obviously high on him, but
Yes.
he struggled bad in that game. I mean, just the missed tackles and the running himself out of plays and then coverage. I'm like, I actually thought our corners played pretty well on man coverage for the most part.
I thought we were
pretty
stellar
sticky.
in man. I thought they got their wins because it's a talented team, but I thought
Right.
I thought our corners were great. I think
But
Chappelle's still getting back into it, to be honest.
Yeah,
I think
Chappelle
he'll be a
is-
work in progress too. But
Yeah.
I'm not throwing him away. I'm letting him grind through it.
is Jordan Shaw still injured because we haven't seen
He
him.
played. He got some snaps. He was the dime.
did
He
he?
was the dime this
Okay.
game. If y'all didn't notice, there were a couple of clear passing downs where it was like third and really long, and A&M went 1D tackle, 3 defensive ends and
Yeah, I saw
one
that. I saw
linebacker,
that.
and then they threw in Shaw as your 6th DB.
Okay, I didn't see him at all. I didn't notice him. So yeah, Chappelle, you can tell, is still a work in progress. He's not having a horrible year, but he's not having he's not what how good he can be compared to like last. Because last year he had a good game against Notre Dame.
Yeah, dude. I think he'll be fine. It's definitely like this dude was out the entire year and he's playing football for the first time. He's 3 games in.
Yeah.
Honestly, dude, this bye week is so good. Like Le'Veon getting another week, all the running backs getting another week. Freaking Reuben Father, he might be ready to come back soon. And
I saw him on the sideline with a jersey.
Yeah, guys like Chappelle will get more healthy. I think it's super exciting.
Did they clarify what happened to Bryce? Did he just get a concussion or?
No, it hasn't been announced yet because we're not going to hear from Elko this week, but he said it sounded like the worst was avoided. He said it sounds promising, sounds positive, so we'll see, man. I'd be surprised if we saw him versus Auburn, but I would guess. My guess,
I would say probably a few weeks.
My uneducated guess is just really bad concussion because if you watch that play, his neck snapped, but the difference, what happened in that play was obviously he tackled with his helmet, which he shouldn't do, and he does it a lot, but the force of Raridan and Will Lee, I think it was Will Lee, tackling Raridan all went into Bryce Anderson's head. It wasn't just just the tight end. It was the tight end getting tackled into Anderson. So it was a really significant head injury. I'm guessing bad concussion, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully he's good, but it would suck to lose him for the whole year because it's a senior year as well.
Yeah, dude, I know. It's his money year, so we'll see. Yeah, he still had issues in run support, but I think his coverage is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, the defensive line, I mean, it's like they start slow, but they once they settle in, they play pretty well for the most part. I mean, man, yeah, I'm still taking this win in, dude. It's still not. I hate Notre Dame.
Yeah, you do.
I hate their fan base. So I'm so glad we finally got this win. And but man, yeah, dude, the Auburn game too is we'll see how good they are against Oklahoma.
I think jury's very much still out. I don't think just Baylor had the troops on defense to keep up with their attack.
No,
but
Baylor.
This could be a different story against Oklahoma's defense.
Baylor was supposed to have a good defense this year, but they look bad.
Yes, shootout versus SMU. Yeah,
SMU carved them up, but yeah, I'm glad to see grit in this team, man. That was really refreshing, and we get to enjoy this win for 2 weeks, dude. And then the Cowboys had a almost a close loss. So, dude, I aged. I aged a lot over there.
I always say it. I don't know how you Cowboy Aggie fans do it, man. I don't know how you live. I don't know how you're not all gray in the head. Yeah.
If anybody watched that Cowboys game, they had no business winning that game at all. I don't know how they did it, dude. It was like, dude, A&M just won, man. They're about to ruin my weekend, but. It's your birthday, you said Thursday, right?
Yeah, man. That's why we're doing the show today instead of Thursday. So I'll be taking the weekend off. I'll be in College Station. If you want to come drive up and grab a beer, I'm going to be watching the game somewhere publicly at a bar out there, or a sports bar or something.
It's just you and your wife?
Just me and my wife.
You're driving to College Station. Wow, it's kind of random.
You know what? It's crazy. She entered us on like some Instagram giveaway. So we're staying at one of the nicest hotels in town just because we won it.
Oh, that really fancy looking one. I forgot where
I
saw.
Right by Northgate, like right in the new Northgate stretch. It's right there.
Yeah,
I've stayed there before. It's super nice. So we're staying there.
Those are really nice.
That's my birthday weekend. Yeah, College Station. Not even a game week. I'm just gonna be there. Yeah, crazy because it's a free stay at like a 4-star hotel.
I'm considering going to the Auburn game. I haven't decided yet because I'm definitely going to the Florida matchup.
Nice.
I'm hoping that one's a night one. I mean, it says flex on the schedule, but
it could be night. We'll see. I think Florida has to win some games. Well, here's the thing. I've noticed with what ESPN is doing with the SEC, they're not just putting the best games at night. Like, they're spacing them out. Like, the best game was at 2:30 this week, and the night game was Florida LSU.
Yeah, I think if you're game day should always be the night game. It should always be the night game at the last game of the
and then again, they predetermined some of these games before the season, so maybe they're just locked into it. But
can we talk about the commentators for that game too as well? Notre Dame,
okay,
they were awful.
Let me give you my take first. I thought the play-by-play guy was very Notre Dame, and he was also very green. He was obviously a young guy. He's probably younger than me. I'm 30.
Yeah, I've never seen that dude. I know the other guy. He's been around forever.
I actually like the other guy. I thought he broke every play down really, really nicely. I thought he was super professional.
He's not bad.
Yeah, and then obviously the ref correspondent is just whining all week on Twitter, so that's been kind of fun.
Oh boy. I mean, I'm glad. I mean, they need this game to get a little respect. Obviously, not just for us fans, but just for themselves to get over the hump.
Yeah.
I mean, now you got momentum. The next 3 games should be very winnable. You can't lose those games at home. I don't know. I watched Auburn play against South Alabama. They look beatable.
Yeah. Yeah, they're no juggernaut. Maybe they're a little bit better than expected, but that's a team that we should beat.
It's a weird year, right, for the SEC. I mean, I know it's still very early. We're all speculating here, but man, all the quarterbacks that are supposed to be really good are all struggling. With Arch and the LSU got Nussmeier.
Dude, everyone's preseason quarterback rankings are busted. They're so busted. I mean,
it's so weird, right?
It's crazy. And Reed is like top 10 in most people's eyes now, and it wasn't even like a clean game for him. It was just a clutch game.
I've been reading comments about Reed lately, and people are still saying he sucks, but because I guess his percentage wasn't very good. But I'm like, dude, who cares? He won the game, and he threw for 3. He could have thrown for 400 if he would have completed those bombs.
Easily. Easily.
That's gonna be. I'm not gonna sit here and say because I wasn't that impressed with Notre Dame's D line, just because I know their fan base was talking about how deep it was. I wasn't very impressed. I think that's probably gonna be one of the best secondaries we face all year. But defense, I don't know. I mean, Florida's defense looks pretty solid.
Florida's looks good. Texas's look good. I do think we just played the best O-line we play all year. Auburn's might be the second best.
Really?
Auburn's might be the second best. Yes.
What about Florida?
I think it's Notre Dame.
Doesn't Florida have a good O-line?
Florida's is good. I like Notre Dame's more. I liked it going into the year. A lot of people did. They struggled versus Miami. I think they did pretty well against us.
Do you think they fire Billy Napier if they lose to Miami this week? Do you think we'll
No, they're going to drop another announcement that he's locked in for the season. That's what they're going to do, like they did last year.
So I'm thinking to myself, because I want to buy tickets for the Florida game, and I was thinking to myself, should I buy it now?
No, wait till Billy's. Dude, that's a gamble. That's a risk.
Should I wait till they fire Billy?
They could win, and then they double in price.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like, well, what if they? Because I actually want them to beat Miami. I'm always gonna go for the SC team, but I'm like, if they beat Miami, the prices might go back up.
So this is the safe time to buy right now. They just lost to LSU. A&M's on top. So, yeah, dude, I don't know. It's a safe time to buy, or you could risk it.
Oh, man, dude, I know. I can't decide.
Yeah.
I was like, I mean, I don't think it's going to sell out. So I was like, yeah. I might just buy them a week beforehand. Because, I mean, I might buy tickets for the Auburn game.
Let me tell you, that Auburn game's going to be electric coming off that LSU game. I mean, that Notre Dame game, especially if they beat Oklahoma.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I might come to College Station. I only live an hour away, so.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be there for the Auburn-Oklahoma game. I'll be watching the Auburn-Oklahoma game somewhere. I'll just be there this weekend.
Oh, that's this weekend.
Yeah,
okay.
that's what I'll be doing. I'll be watching that at a bar somewhere, or maybe a sports bar, restaurant kind of deal somewhere in town. I don't know where.
Shoot, fancy, man.
I'll just be hanging out. But yeah, Jeb, man, I got to get out of here. But I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts, man? Any closing rants?
Oh man, if the defense can just keep progressing every game, because I mean, if you think about it, go back to the Miami game in 23, right? They looked awful in that game. They couldn't stop nothing.
Yeah.
But they finally put it together, even though we won't say his name, a corner, but they got it together for a stretch of the season. Their run defense got better. I'm thinking if this defense can just progress, and the offense obviously is good they are, and just play complementary football, this could be a really dangerous team. With our offense playing at this level, we'll be in every game.
Yeah. Just imagine if that defense comes together, man. It could be crazy.
We should be on paper until LSU. We should be undefeated.
On paper, can't slip up.
Will they do it? I don't know. Because Mississippi State, they look a lot. I think the worst team in the SEC right now might be Kentucky.
Yeah.
As crazy as that sounds, because they look awful.
Yeah, for
Mississippi State, we don't really know. I mean, we'll see how good Arizona State is. They play Baylor this weekend. Maybe they might just be bad.
Yeah, we'll see. For sure.
State, they look a little bit better than expected. I thought they'd be an awful team. But
yeah, even so, they look better than awful. So they're better than expected. Yeah.
Yeah, they historically, since we joined, they usually give us a hard time. So that game, Miami, Blake, we could see Blake shape, and that could be an interesting game.
Yep.
I was debating on going to that one too because it's a blackout game.
I was thinking about it too, but honestly, I love the watch party so much. I might just watch party it up.
Yeah, I mean, it's not. I like to go to like just the bigger games, and that's not really a big matchup.
But it is the blackout game. It is the blackout.
Yeah,
night game. Kyle Field, the only guaranteed one left on the season. Besides, I think that's it. Maybe Sanford.
And we brought out the white jerseys this game from Notre Dame. We couldn't lose, man. Those jerseys were too nice.
We were too clean, man. We were too sick.
So that's, I mean, if the defense can improve, we'll be good. We'll be in every game. We should be undefeated by the time we play LSU. Could be a really special year. We'll see. It's still too very early, but guys, we finally have an offense. It's nice to have. We finally. I mean, I was emotional Saturday, man. I was all over the place,
dude. I was up. I was up till 5 a.m. Saturday. I finally finished like the stream. Then I watched like the highlights. Then I cut up a couple videos from the stream. I did the reaction. I just cut up my post game thoughts and posted it. And then I was like, you know what? It's 4 a.m. I've been on the stream for 10 hours, working on this for 12 hours in total. I'm hungry. I went to Fuego at 4 a.m. I got 3 fat ass tacos. They were giant. They were giant.
I could probably eat at Fuego every day.
I went to Fuego today too before the stream.
Yeah, it's between Panda and Fuego.
Exactly.
Fuego. They put another Panda in my town, so now we have 2. So, dude, I'm about to pillage both
love
of them.
Panda, dude. I haven't been in a while.
Yeah, I go so much now, dude.
Pillage.
They know my name now, man. They oh, Jeff, you order a lot.
You're a regular. You're a regular at Panda Express.
I don't know what it is, man. Like food just does something to me, man. The greasiness. I don't know why.
It's so good, dude. Nothing like orange chicken, coating every piece of chicken with the fried rice. Dang, I'm going to Panda.
Their teriyaki chicken's so
I
good.
love their teriyaki chicken, dude.
God, dude. What do they put in that shit?
Probably like crack. It's so good. All right, Jeb. I got to get out of here, man.
Yeah, man. Enjoy your birthday, man.
Thank you, man. Thanks for calling. Have a good night.
All right. Good night.
Later. All right, guys. Hell of a stream, man. Wanted to reflect, wanted to project, wanted to just kind of get out of this Notre Dame kind of era we're in right now. It lasts a little bit longer than normal. Normally by Tuesday we're looking forward, but normally we have to go to the next game, but we have the opportunity to enjoy a little bit longer because of the bye week. So hope you all enjoyed it. Hope you continue to enjoy it. And lock in, man. There's some tough games coming up. As good as we think we are, as good as we look, as vulnerable as some teams look, it's still not an easy schedule. Every game is a hurdle. Every game is a challenge. Let's see how we do, man. It's going to be a really, really fun year. It's going to be a really, really fun season. Guys, thank you so much for being here. If you could drop a like and a sub on the way out. Shout out to RHOBACK. They sponsor the channel. Discount code is Drewtamu for 20% off your first order. Go check out their Texas A&M merch line. Awesome A&M hoodies, pullovers, polos. Great stuff. Shout out RHOBACK. Link is in the description. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I'll see you guys soon.